Hey, welcome to Brunch with Brian, your fun real estate daily weekday live stream. Today's lesson is going to be about checklists and using checklists for success. I have this awesome book that is written by Atul Gawande, so I'm going to give you guys a book recommendation called The Checklist Manifesto. It's a how to get things right is the subtitle. So I want you guys to get things right. And that applies to real estate investing and life and everything else. So getting things right in real estate and the Pretty House deal really boils down to 35 steps. And we have actually broken these steps down into onto a chart, onto this checklist here. Checklists are amazing, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. Okay, but so welcome to our presentation here today, our live stream. It's actually the Feast of the Immaculate Conception, and I have to have a special day notice there. I actually went to a school called the Immaculate Conception School. So for 1st through 8th grade, I went to Immaculate Conception, and I also was an altar boy there for several years. And the church was right next to the school. So we went to church every day. We would get to school at like 7:50, and then we'd all march over to church and be at church from 8 to 8:45. From 1st through 8th grade, I went to church about 6 times a week. So I figured I went to church like thousands of times over those years. And so today is the Immaculate Conception. I'm going to teach you something, though. Most people think when you say the Immaculate Conception, you think this is the conception of Jesus. No, it's not. It's actually the conception of Mary. When Mary was conceived, remember in the Catholic faith, it's everybody is born with the original sin, which Jesus helps absolve you of the sin. And so basically, Mary was born without original sin. And this was a concept, I don't want to mess this name up too badly, ineffabilis Deus. But anyway, it was decided, it was a papal declaration actually in 1954 that said that this is how the case. And so the Feast of the Immaculate Conception is actually about the birth of Mary being born, Mary being conceived originally. So that's kind of a big misunderstanding that most people have about that. So a little bit of history. It's National Brownie Day today, so that's a fun day. So I guess you got to eat a brownie today. And it's also a fun one called Pretend to Be a Time Traveler. So if you see anybody walking around with strange helmets and stuff, it's Pretend to Be a Time Traveler Day. Now, what is a time traveler and a bartender? It's also Bartender Day, National Bartender Day. So and now, of course, why are we standing over here? Because it's National Christmas Tree Day. And so we have our nice big Christmas tree up right now. And Trinity helped us get it up early. We're not quite done decorating it. I want to put some red bows and some big gold ornaments and a few more things and some of our family ornaments from the day. I still actually have some ornaments back from when I was a kid that we put on the tree. So that's fun. So it's National Christmas Tree Day. So your assignment for today might be, if you have been hesitating and not getting your Christmas tree up, maybe today's the day. The big assignment for today is to be on the Teaching Tuesday, the Treasure Tuesday, we call it, conference call today. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Today, we're actually going to go over in depth. Now, I can only go over the checklist so much in depth. I can't really go over it in depth right now. I can tell you there's 35 items on it. There's actually 7 items that are sort of business, like, are you set up? Is your business going? Are you doing the things that you need to do on a weekly basis to succeed in the business? And that's the top part. And then there's a line, and then these are all the specific deal steps that you must do. Now, Atul Gawande, this author, now he's actually on the politics aside, he's on the new task force, the coronavirus task force, the guy who wrote this book. He talked about how checklists were implemented in countries all around the globe and America, and these checklists were instigated in emergency rooms, and they actually cut the rate of postoperative infections by over a third. And so we're talking about many, many saved lives. Why? Because they put checklists. They made sure checklists were in each of these locations. So like it's National Bartender today. I would imagine, I've never been a bartender, but I would imagine they need a checklist. For sure they need a supply checklist. Otherwise, people would be coming in and ordering their favorite drinks and you wouldn't have it. You wouldn't have grenadine. You wouldn't have limes. You wouldn't have some of those things. Obviously, it's not the best time in the world to be a bartender right now, but we'll be back. All the bartenders will be back, and it will be great. I think we are going to really come roaring back after everybody gets the vaccine and gets going again. So today on our Treasure Tuesdays, we're going to go over this checklist in depth. Now, obviously, most of you guys really would like to do a lot of pretty house deals and really are focused on the creative financing side of the business, because that's what we do that's so special and different than some of the other teachers, is we focus on that creative financing side. And so today is a very important session. I've never done this. I've never gone into this kind of detail of how to get these deals closed. We're not talking about scripts. We covered scripts last week, which was really important. And I could do 10 sessions just on scripts, obviously, but scripts are crucial. And I told you last week where to find all the scripts you need and how to track the script path. Remember, it was the 6-step script path for success. So if you didn't hear that, actually, I want you to send us an email at support@thewolffcouple.com and ask us. We can actually send you a recording of that for last week. And these two components really make up your success formula. It's scripts and systems. You need them both. You need the scripts because you really got to know what to say. Now, we're going to be at Ron LeGrand and Global Publishing's Quick Start Real Estate School this week virtually. And so you're going to see us on the phone, and you're going to see live calls, and we're going to do deal structuring. And so much of it is the scripts of how you say it. But there's so many other components of the business of what to do. And that's why our core system is the Wolff LeGrand what to say and what to do system. It's got the scripts and it's got all the checklists. And so now we actually have checklists. I've been showing you this one checklist, but we have checklists for all 7 deals. There's 7 different kinds of ways that you're going to do deals, including wholesales and rehabs. Those are 2 of the kinds. So we call the creative financing, sometimes we call it the pretty house deal. So that's 3 out of the deals, but you've also got options and acts and work for equity deals, short sale, pre-foreclosure deals. So those deals you need a different checklist for. Checklists, you need checklists for every different kind of deal because they're all different. And the way you do your exit strategy, the way you do your marketing, everything is based on the kind of deal that you're doing. And so obviously that's why this checklist is so important. So my assignment today is be on our Treasure Tuesday, Teaching Tuesday call. For sure be there today in about 7 hours and 40 minutes or so. And we'll see you on that. And we sent you an email already this morning and have put a Facebook post up there to get the call and the number and everything. I'll probably talk about this book a little bit too, but I want you to start thinking about your life in terms of what things would I be more effective at if I had a checklist. Even stuff around the house, the chores. Maybe you already have some kind of a chores checklist, task list or something like that. And there's a whole checklist for Christmas. And you probably have, maybe you just make a to-do list as you go along. Same as a checklist. Just put little boxes in front of all your to-do items, and then you got a checklist. Okay, but that's the key is if you're doing a real estate deal from start to finish, especially if it's a creative financing deal, you really got to understand each step. And it's a huge peace of mind if you actually have this. I call this peace of mind in a piece of paper, actually, because this is the way that you're not missing a crucial step that'll make the deal blow up. So I want you to start thinking about having checklists for each different thing in your life. Let me see if there's anything else I want to touch on. That was a good assignment. Okay, let's do an affirmation. I will use checklists to succeed. Ready? I will use checklists to succeed. Okay, I will use checklists to stay organized. Ready? I will use checklists to stay organized. Okay, now remember, you guys who have the what to say and what to do, most of you, we also in your what to do manual, we gave you another bonus along with that. There's an automation and organization system that's actually also on our Wolfpack site, your member website, and you can go through that whole automation, and that has a whole checklist for being organized in your office and where to put files and how to file everything. So you're really organized from the very beginning. Okay, so that's really important too. All right, I can't believe it, but I don't have a joke for today. I know, you guys love the jokes. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of a really funny bartender. Okay, a horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Hey, why the long face?" Okay, I came up with a bartender joke at the last second. Yay. All right, so Jim Morrison would have been 77. Remember, if we do shout out on birthdays, we like to look at people as, were they a good role model, or is there an object lesson there? Well, Jim Morrison was, what a talent, what an incredible talent that was wasted, obviously. And, Sammy Davis Jr. was born today, and he died at only 65. I think there's a connection between dying young with those two. And for you young of heart people, Nicki Minaj actually turns 38. If you don't know who Nicki Minaj is, then, come on, Grandma and Grandpa. No, she's popular. So, and, sad note, John Lennon died today, actually 40 years ago. He would have been 80 today. He was 40 when he died. So that was really sad. I love the Beatles. And I would listen to Beatles A to Z on the radio, and I'd record the whole thing. I had a way of recording off the radio, and I'd sit and listen to it over and over and over. That whole weekend, I'd sit and cut out all the commercials and listen to that for years. So I knew every Beatles song, and so I was really into the Beatles. So they were great. And the lesson there is, find what you're great at. And, boy, what if John Lennon and Paul McCartney had not gone together? And that's another thing, networking and collaborating with other people who don't always get along. And that's the interesting thing, because McCartney and Lennon didn't always get along, but it was that creative tension, and it was that kept them, that made just glorious music and really historic music for the world because of that collaboration. So sometimes collaborations are great. So find somebody to collaborate with that you get great product, through that collaboration. And then also find something that you really do well, and, let your heart lead you on that. Boy, I'm getting all philosophical here at the end. So guys, be on that call today. Really important to be on that call so we can go through these checklists. You can really have a full grasp of all the steps that go into these creative financing amazing deals. Okay, so we will see you then. And until then, guys, keep expecting success and have a great day taking action.